Let's see, so we should be live and it's looking pretty good. We'll just wait for some people to join in because then I'll be saying welcome to no one. So let's just wait for people to come in. Yeah, till then I don't know what I'm gonna do. So, but I like for people. Let's just wait for some people to come in. I can see there is one person currently watching. If you wanna say hi in chat, you have my full attention right now. So Aryan, namaskar. Hey man, what's up? Say ma'am who has phone pay. WWE time. Hi bro, you play WWE? Nice. So we'll just wait for a couple of minutes and then we'll get started with our Django. And we'll start creating our build with Python website. So actually let me just add stuff over here. Can you guys hear everything properly and see everything properly? Just tell me in the chat if you guys can see everything properly and the audio is good enough. Minutes for other people to join in, and what we can also do is let's just like write we will be building a website with Django episode 1 so that any person who comes in can at least know like what we are doing and I don't have to write it again and again. Alright, so let's see what's happening in the chat. Saf, hi bro, hey man. Droid, watching IPL, nice. Watching cricket. I didn't even know like IPL was going on. Pranjal, bro, you're doing any job or just freelancing? Mostly freelancing, bro. Parth Gala, hi man. Are you from India? Yeah, I'm from India. I live in Bangalore. The AC is a bit too loud than yesterday. Oh man, that sucks. Is it super bad? Can you guys not hear my voice at all? Is the audio good enough? And can you guys see the font size? How is the font size? Like, can you guys see what's written over here, or should I increase the font size if it's too small? Alright, the AC is it's a little bit, I don't know man about the AC. What is today? We'll be building our Django, we'll be starting with episode 1, we'll be building the build with Python website, at least getting started with it. Be without AC, bro, super hot. You know what I'm gonna do if, should I just switch off the AC? But if I sweat it's on you guys, right? Yeah, and I'll be taking your opinion as to like different things as to what I should be doing when I code in Django. So yeah, and today I'll not be reading the chat that much because we have a lot of stuff to code. Bro, currently I'm not in Bangalore, I'm in Lucknow. So yeah, I'm with my parents currently. So yeah, I'll be taking your opinions on different things. I won't be able to read the chat that much because we'll be working on coding a lot. So yeah, hey, nice to see you, all the previous people joining in, very nice. Rohit, hi man, I'm good. Zalani, hey, nice to see you again. Hello, can't you please reduce the background noise? Damn it. Okay, fine, I'll switch off the AC. Wait. The AC has been switched off. The audio should be a lot better, but if it gets hot again, I'll probably switch on the AC again. No, Saf, I still haven't told him. Hi from Italy. Hi Diego. Hey man. It should be around 4 o'clock around in Italy, right? Yeah. Yeah, I switched off the AC, dude. It kind of hurts, but whatever. We'll figure it out. You know, if it gets too hot, we'll switch on the AC again. So I think like, should we just get started, or should we just wait for a couple of more minutes? Because I don't think it will get more than like 30 viewers or something, right? So let's maybe wait for a couple of more minutes and then we'll get back into it. Are you going to upload the live on YouTube? Yeah, I'm not going to be uploading it. It's just gonna be there. It's gonna be automatically there. Diago, I don't need to upload it, so you can just watch it whenever you want. Bro, computer degree important for getting a job, bro. Like, if you want to do masters, anything after graduation, you should get a computer degree, but it's not really important for getting a job, but I'll highly recommend it, even though I didn't get one. And don't spam, man. If anybody spams, I'm like, I'm removing them, man. Like, I can, if this is crazy. Aditya, like, calm down, bro. What are you gonna do today in Django? We'll figure it out, man. We'll get started. And so, okay, because now we have enough viewers, I think I can tell you guys that I haven't touched Django in like 2 years, so I don't really remember a lot. So it will be very interesting to just kind of like figure stuff out and like build it with you guys, because I really don't remember anything in Django. So it's gonna be interesting. So I'm gonna be doing just basic web development stuff, and let's see where it goes. So today probably we'll start with the basic navigation bar, and we'll see which framework we are supposed to use, like probably Bootstrap or material framework. Like, we'll see like what color theme should we have, pages, all that stuff. I'm a Django developer. How can I get clients? Bro, you just go on Upwork, man, if you need clients for getting started. Otherwise, you just offline, you just build like your network. Let me open up my Visual Studio Code. Bro, Alicia, thank you for trusting me, but I don't know if I'm gonna be good enough today, because I haven't touched Django in 2 years, so I'm a little bit nervous. But Tailwind, oh man, Tailwind is pretty difficult, man. Like, we'll see. We'll actually check it out. Alright, so let's get started. So first of all, we are just gonna create a new project. So let's just create a simple new project of Django. And another thing is that I'm not using the community version of PyCharm, because this is going to be a pretty big project. So that's why I'm using a professional version, which I bought. It's around $300 if I'm not wrong, but yeah, I feel like I need to use a professional version for this, and it's a little bit different from a community version. You have a lot of more help. So that's why I'm gonna be using just this one. And just to show you guys, so I'll also be googling a lot of stuff because I don't remember a lot of things. So we'll just be like kind of googling stuff over here. So let me just open up my Google. And so yeah, Python version which I'll be using is Python 3.7. So you can also download that if you want. And we're also gonna create an app over here itself. A cool thing about Django is just you don't need to write start app and stuff. You can just kind of just create a application from here. So I'm just gonna call my application as maybe main website, or maybe we should just call it what should we call our main app? So we have so many decisions to make. I can't believe I'm just thinking the application name, but it needs to be a little bit good, right? So we're just gonna call it okay, fine, let's just call it my site, whatever. All right, we'll change it later if it's not good enough. So let's just click on create, and we are going to create and on this window. So it's going to take some time to create this virtual environment and everything. Rajan, I just joined, welcome me, or like, what is this domination going on? So sorry, Crawley, I don't know what that means. Coding design, Tailwind. Bro, is data structure important for a front-end web developer? Front-end web developer, I don't think it really is, to be honest. Data structures. Font size too small. People said it's okay, so I was like, okay, maybe I'll increase the font size a little bit for you guys. Satya, hi sir, hey man. CVM, what is the startup you're building? So basically, you're watching currently build with Python, right? I want to build its website. So that's what we'll be building in Django. So I have been putting off building the website for a long time. So I thought it will be interesting to create a live stream and at the same time freaking build the website. Bharat, hello, hey man. Tailwind, interesting. So let's actually figure out what we are going to use in the meanwhile, like what framework we are going to use. So first option which I like, let me just open up a couple of tabs. All right, so first option which I like is Bootstrap. Bootstrap is pretty simple, no complicated stuff. It's pretty easy. So Bootstrap 5, I think is the latest one, or just Bootstrap, I don't know, like you'll see which version it is. So first is Bootstrap, the second is this Material Bootstrap version. I was checking it out. Material framework front end. Let's see this one, and then Tailwind. Let's see Tailwind also. Tailwind CSS. Somebody recommended. Yeah, Tailwind is pretty good, but it requires a lot of time, like to build it. I don't have that much time, to be honest, to build it from scratch and to learn it again. Most CSS frameworks do too much. All right, we won't be doing that much work. But it's kind of like, to be honest, every framework is kind of the same. Like they give you stuff they give you components, they give you stuff, and you just have to use that stuff and build it. I think pretty much, I don't see like the extra utility of using. Obviously, it looks pretty cool, I guess, what they are doing over here. But we are going for utility right now, and we'll go for looks later when we go to the second version of Build with Python website. Then we'll go to that. The second thing I was thinking of, this Materialize. I think it's by Material Design is basically by Google. It has a very specific look to it. You can see all these like colors and stuff. So these are the components that are there. So let's actually check it out, what components are there. Tail blocks. So let's actually check out tail blocks, I guess. I don't know, I have this weird habit. I could just search in the URL, but I have this weird habit of just going in and like typing in google.com first. Tail blocks. Well, let's check that out. Maybe something else. I don't know if I ready to use Tailwind. I think I need to have a little bit of an idea of Tailwind CSS. So let's actually, yeah, it kind of the same, man. Like it looks kind of the same. Everything looks the same. It's not like a lot different, I guess, from Bootstrap. So over here it's a little bit different. I just don't like the colors that they gave over here. That's the thing. Obviously, like we'll also be changing colors in Bootstrap, and I think Bootstrap is the most used one, so I think I'll be going with, and I have a little bit of an idea with Bootstrap, so I won't have to worry too much about it. Like I know how the grid system works and everything. At least I should remember, because last time I tried was 2 years ago. Alright, so I think we'll be going with Bootstrap. Your search history is being exposed. Damn it. I hope not. Was there anything weird in my search history? I don't think so. But alright, hello, is your playlist for KiwiMD completed? Yeah, it's pretty much completed, man. It's taking a long time to install Django. I guess it's installing a lot of libraries and stuff. Hello sir, so could you please show the final? I haven't created the final design or prototype piece, so I don't know. Like I'll probably be working with you guys and creating something. So first we plan the front end, how our website should be. Ideally, we should be creating like a wireframe of things that should be there. Ideally, I guess. So we can do some stuff in Photoshop, but I think we'll just get started. You know, it's gonna be pretty simple. Like we'll have like a navigation bar, and then we'll have like some kind of course area. We'll have some kind of blog section, and we'll kind of at least list it down somewhere inside our project. Like what things do we want inside a project? Yeah, front end. I think we'll also plan a little bit of back end. Yeah, Droid, tips for logic building. I have no idea what you mean by that. Sahil, hey man, I referred to your automation projects years back. Good to see you back on the channel. Hey man, nice to see you again. Watching from Bangladesh. Great job, bro. Thank you, M1. So you're truly amazing. Thank you, Abhishek. Please share knowledge for app development using Django. Like that's like Instagram is like a pretty big app, man. Like what do you expect? Like I haven't coded in like 2 years, and you expect me to build Instagram? And Instagram is, I think it's built on Django if I'm not wrong. I'm not sure though. Instagram might be built on Python. I don't know about Django, but which website do you think looks cool? Most websites are built for functionality, so but some of the websites that I've seen that have like great designs are very slow, but they look pretty cool. Normally, like when I want to get some like kind of inspiration design, I just go to like Google and I'll search for like design awards websites. Yeah. All right. Loved your KiwiMD playlist. Helped me a lot. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So it's still indexing over here, still being processed. So I guess we are gonna wait for some more time. I guess what we can do in the meanwhile is look at the folder structure, and what we'll do at the same time is go to the Django's official website, so that we at least have an idea of what's going on, right? So let's go to the Django website, djangoproject.com, see which version of Django is currently there. So Django 3.1.1 is there. So when I created it, it was 1.11 the last time I checked. But yeah. So yeah, we'll be building with this, and let's go to the documentation, because documentation is the most important part. And actually, if I can't figure anything out, I'll ask the chat, I'll look at various websites, maybe I'll look at some tutorials on YouTube, and we'll figure it out. So the best way to, I think, get started is to look like a tutorial, like just like a tutorial or something over there on the website, and see what they have, right? So this is for Django version. I don't think we need it. Creating a project, we have already created a project, but if you are doing it not using Django Professional, it's probably a pretty good idea. And this is actually what I've named it, surprisingly. So this is pretty good. All right. What else is there? Let's look at what start project created. Manage.py. I think I know a little bit what these things are, so I'll just explain to you guys what these things are. So this is our build with is our main project, and then inside our main project we have like a couple of files over here. And so let's actually look at our project files first. And this is our app. This my site is an app, and our website can have multiple applications. So for example, when we create a blog, we can create a different app for it, and our homepage will be different from the blog, and that's how they set. So different sections of the website can be divided into different applications. Yeah. Yeah, man, let's not spam. If I see anybody, like, dude, I don't know if I need like some kind of like some moderators and stuff, right? Because I'll be busy doing all this stuff, and I won't be able to see it, see the chat and stuff, right? So guys, don't spam. So yeah, let's go into the project file, see what's there and what's not there. So this init.py is a file that Django requires. You don't need to worry about it. And let's go to the second file, that is this ASGI file. I think this is for, okay, I have no idea what ASGI config. It exposes the, let's actually search for it, like, because we don't know what ASGI is, right? So let's actually go to Google and actually search what this ASGI is, right? Okay, so it's basically WSGI. Okay, when we upload it to like a server and stuff, then it comes in handy. Basically, it's related to web servers and stuff. And then settings.py is a pretty important one, because all the settings of a project are going to be inside it. This is a secret key. You're not supposed to like share it with anyone, but I'll be changing it later, so it shouldn't be a problem. And debug equals to true is basically, it helps us in debugging stuff. If there is a problem, we can like check it out. Allowed hosts is basically a list in which we can, like, for example, when I finally push a website, push out, dude, stop spamming, man. What the all right, man, I need some moderators. If somebody wants to become a moderator, like, please send me a message on Instagram. I'll love to like actually make some moderators, because people like don't send like 4 or 5 texts. It's just like not cool, man, not cool. So allowed host is basically like when I create a website like buildwithpython.com, and like the IP address and stuff, like we have to put it in allowed hosts. So we have to like put in www.buildwithpython.com over here, only then the website will open. And then this is the installed apps. So you can see there is this my site app over here, which we have created. And when we create another app, for example, blog, then we will need to add that installed apps too. And then this middleware is basically stuff that goes in the middle between the web server and the project that we are creating. Some of the stuff we can add in middleware, but I don't know whether we'll be adding or not. Then there is this templates. Why is this OS giving us an error? Did we not import OS? Let's actually import OS. I don't know why it's giving us an error, but let's just import OS, and that should be solved, I guess. So yeah, this is basically templates in which we are going to be storing our HTML files. And yeah, this is our database. Currently our database is SQLite 3. In the future, when we handle databases, then maybe, although I think like using SQLite 3 for our website should be more than enough, but maybe I'll update it to like MySQL or something. Yeah, and then this is just for like validators, whether it's a number or not. Minimum length validator, like we'll be using all this stuff. Time zones. Static is basically a folder where you add your images and other static files like CSS files and stuff. Alright, so yeah, if you want to be a mod, just like text me on Instagram, man. Like I think I should add a mod because people like start spamming and stuff. Alright, so we have our settings.py file, and then there is this urls.py file, which is also very important. So for example, when you go to www like google.com slash let's say new, alright, then you have to add this path over here, that's slash new, and then we can take it to a different kind of an area in the website. Basically, I think that is what urls.py is, right? And then you can also add something known as views inside it, but we'll go into that a little bit later. And then WSGI is the same as ASGI. I think it's like a web server thing. All right, and then this is the application that we are going to create. In this, there's going to be like home pages and stuff. Yeah, man, like I'm always surprised how much I have to like speak on the stream. Like even though the stream is supposed to be like all speaking thing, but still always get thirsty. So this migrations basically contains like the database. So any database changes you make, currently it's empty, or this init.py file, just ignore it, it's used by Django. But migrations basically contain all the database stuff inside this folder. And then there is this admin.py file. So there is this admin panel that Django gives us automatically, and we'll go into this admin.py file a little bit later, and this basically used to handle that admin panel that Django gives us. Then there is this apps. Basically when we create a new app, we have to add it over here also. And then modals.py, and this is pretty important. So any kind of database you're going to create, any kind of form you're going to create is going to be over here. So for example, if we create a contact form, first we have to add a model, and then it's going to be stored to a database. Alright, so test.py is used to do tests, but we don't need it a lot of times. And then there's this views.py file, which is actually very important. So using this views.py file, you create that contact form. So the front end is connected to the back end using this views.py file, kind of. So you use this views.py file to show a web page. Basically, views.py file is used to show a web page. It takes the HTML file, and then it just throws that on the web server or website, and it shows it to all of you guys. And then modals.py file basically takes that form and stores it to a database. So it connects the database to this views.py file. I hope it's pretty clear. Like as we like go more into this, like we'll be understanding a lot more. Then this templates folder is basically used to have like HTML files and all that stuff, although we'll be creating a templates folder inside our application too. And then this manage.py file is actually pretty important. Any kind of like instruction that we are gonna give, like run the instructor, like run the server, any kind of instruction that we give is gonna be in the manage.py file. If you want to do any changes in the database, we're also gonna do inside the manage.py file. Alright, so let's look at the chat a little bit. I don't know if you're talking grade 11 student. Oh man, that's awesome. What okay, Alexandra, okay. God, I was thinking this was a video and I was trying to fast forward. No man, this is a live stream, bro. You're live. Okay, let's just start. Man, I'm gonna go through all the basics so that anybody who watches this live stream later can at least understand like what's going on behind the scenes. So it can help like all the future people watching too. And obviously I'm not the expert currently, but slowly and slowly we can understand a lot more, and we are gonna create something beautiful. Alright, so let's get started. So first of all, what we are gonna do is let's actually just try to put something on a web page, right? That should be our first aim, like at least something starts showing, right? That's what we want. So let's go back to our Django and see what's up. So we have understood all of this stuff. If you want, you guys can go and read all of that things. So first thing is, let's verify our Django works or not. It's python manage.py run server. So this is our manage.py file. And to run this, you can just, if you are on your PyCharm, you can just press Ctrl Alt and R, and it will automatically run the manage.py file. Otherwise, you have to, if you are using Sublime Text or something, you can just write this command, python manage.py run server, on your terminal or command prompt. And then over here, we can just write run server, and it will make sure that our website is up and running, and we can actually check it out to see whether it's working or not. And I don't think anyone who is watching right now is a beginner to Django. That's crazy, man. Like, why would anybody watch? Like, why would you watch? I don't think you should be watching, man. To be honest, if you are not, this is a beginner kind of a Django tutorial. Like, if you're not a beginner, there is no point in watching it, to be honest. Python per movie py. Oh, you want to create, Rahul? You want to create like a video editor or something? That would be pretty cool. All right, so let's actually see this IP address, see how it looks. So you can see that we got this thing over here. If it says the install worked correctly, congratulations. You are seeing this page because debug equals to true is in your settings file. So you remember the settings file which we talked about before. And if you scroll up, you can see there is this debug equals to true, right? So that's why it's probably showing this web server the page. So now we know that our Django is working, and whenever we enter this IP address, this 127.0.0.1, and then this is the port number 8000 after this colon, then it opens this up. So we can regularly check how our website looks and stuff, right? So let's go back and see what's next. So they're basically telling us about the ports and stuff. We don't need that. We have already created this thing. So write our first view. This is going to be interesting. So we are going to be starting by throwing something on our web page, right? But first, what we are going to do is, let's go to our urls.py file in our build with. And over here, what we should do is at least tell that what if our website opens, right? For example, this, you can consider this as our current URL, right? This IP address colon and 8000 should be like buildwithpython.com, right? And you can just write like stuff over here, contact and stuff. So you can think of it as a domain name. So basically what we want to do is like throw at least something over here so that we can see something, right? And the path for that, so let's just copy this and paste it over here and remove this stuff, because we don't want /admin or /contact. We just want to open the home page of the website, right? And we want it to connect to the views.py file, which we haven't created yet. So inside our views.py file, okay, so this is what this tutorial was telling us. So first we need to create this views.py file. All right, so we'll keep this on hold right now. But yeah, we are gonna first create this views.py. So it's gonna tell us to import this HTTP response. So basically we are throwing this text on our web page, right? So let me just actually let's just write it so that we get into a practice of actually writing stuff. So from Django.http, we are gonna import our HTTP response, I guess. HTTP response. All right, and then we are gonna create a method, I guess, right? We're gonna create a method of index request, and we're gonna return a HTTP response. So let me actually just drag this so that I don't have to open it again and again. So we're gonna create a method, and let me just, yeah, so we're gonna create a method, and we can call this method what we want, but because this is the index page in web development, usually the home page is also known as the index page. So we're just gonna call it index, and then it's gonna take a couple of parameters, I guess. So first one is the request. So this is very interesting. So I don't know how many of you guys know what a request is and what a response is. So whenever we open up a website, right? Whenever we open up a website, we are basically requesting a website, and whenever a website is shown to us from a web server, that is the response. So basically we are sending this request, and then we are getting a response from that. So this request basically contains a lot of stuff which we'll be using later. All right, so let's move on. So let's see what's next. Yeah, and then inside this we are basically returning an HTTP response. So let's return a simple HTTP response, and inside this we can just write whatever we want. Welcome peeps, episode 1 YOLO. Alright, so this is looking pretty good. And now we basically need to import this what method we have created over here inside our urls.py file, so that whenever we open up our home page, this views basically open, this index method is called, and this text is just thrown on the screen, right? So what we can do is let's open this up and let's see what they have to say, right? So in urls.py file, basically you can write from .import views, and then you can just write the path and views.index and give it a name, I guess. So we are going to be doing the same thing. So we are just going to write from .import views. Yeah, import views. So this is basically going to import this views.py file, right? And let's actually write my site, because we are adding this my site inside our build with folder, right? And so this urls.py file is inside this build with folder, and we want to go to this my site views.py file. That's why we have to write from my site app import the views, and then we can just open up our method that is inside our views.py file, right? So we are going to be doing that. So let's go to our urls. I forgot that you guys can't see it, so let me just drag it back again. So yeah, we are going to be basically doing this views.index, name equals to index. So we can give it a name if you want, but we don't need to right now. So I'm just going to write views.index over here, and we don't need the name currently, so it should be fine. Views.py file, and now let's just so this server is supposed to be automatically refreshed, but sometimes it's not. So let's see if it's working or not. So let's open up our website, this 127.01, and press enter, and this should show us this welcome peeps episode 1 YOLO. Alright, so we have finally thrown something on our screen which is looking is starting to come in handy, right? Yeah, name will be required, but it's not required right now, man. I know you are like the expert of Django, so alright, so let's see what's happening in the chat. Alright, so there's not much happening in the chat, so we can continue to do more stuff, do more difficult stuff. Man, it's gonna be like a beginner stream. So like as we go into more depth stuff, I think it will be more complicated stuff, but even I don't know how to do complicated stuff, so we are gonna learn as we go along. So we have finally shown something on our screen. So now what we want to do is finally maybe create some kind of a navigation bar here, create more like complicated. So this is just a very simple HTTP response. Next, what we want to do is actually render the same text, right? So let's go back to our this thing and see what's next over here. So basically we can include this whatever views there are from our this urls.py file 2, I guess. So there is no urls.py file inside our my site app, right? So let's also create this urls.py file over here. So let's just right click, create a new, we can actually just copy paste, I guess, but I'll create a new file, and we're also going to call it urls.py file. And inside this we're just going to copy and paste all of this stuff so that we don't have to write all of this stuff again. And let's just remove all this extra nonsense. All right, and we don't really need this. We can just write from I guess from import views if you want, and let's just leave it empty for right now. All right, so let's just close this extra tabs because they always confuse me, right? So now what we want to do is actually render something in this views.py file, right? Currently we are just using the HTTP response. So let's see how do we do that, man. Do they have anything over here or not? Let's go to the part 2 because I think this is almost over. Let's go to the tutorial 2. See if we can find something. So this is basically the migration. So let's actually do so there are a lot of things that are already installed inside Django, like the Django admin and stuff. So we can just do some migrations and it will start to show up. So let's actually first do that. So we are gonna just press stop and we are gonna write migrate over here so that all the things that are already inside Django, like the admin panel and stuff, can be shown to us. So we're just gonna add that, and we should do some migrations. As you can see over here, it's just doing something in the like admin panel and stuff. Oh, okay, it's getting pretty hot, dude. I'm not gonna lie, it's getting really hot. Alright, so it has done all this stuff and it has applied all this stuff in the Django. So now let's see what's next. We're creating models. I don't think we are ready for creating models yet. What I want to do is like watch simple. Let's actually go to Google and just type in render Django template, and this should give us at least some idea of what's happening over here. Because I want to like use the render functionality, not the this is not it. Nope. Alright, this is the HTTP response. Again, HTTP response, which we don't want. Right views, if we still don't want that. Why are we still using HTTP response? I have no idea. Yeah, this is the one that I want, a shortcut render. That's what we want. So we are going to we'll be importing this render. So let me just copy this actually and paste this over here. And we'll not be using HTTP response like mostly ever, but yeah, so we're going to write render over here instead of that. And you can see it requires some parameters: the request, the template name, the context, content type, and all that stuff. So let's just use render. And first it requires a request. So request we already have as a parameter over here, so it shouldn't be a problem. So we're just going to write request over here, and then it requires a template folder, I guess, right? Template folder. So we have to first create that template, right? Let's see. So how do you create a template? Did we skip that part? Right, I think I remember how to create a template. So inside this my site, we basically create a new directory and we just call it template. Templates or template, I'm not really sure. I'm assuming it's templates. Or no, wait, do we, okay, I'm pretty confused. Okay, let's just create a templates folder, and I think inside that we create a my app folder. My site, this name is basically the same as our app name, my site. Can somebody confirm in the chat, like when we create a template, there is already templates? Yeah, there is already templates, but you like, I think the last time I did it, you also use this templates folder inside an app, because different apps have different HTML pages and you don't want everything to be inside this one templates folder, right? So the project is, Fabio, we are building the Build with Python website. Alright, did you post a link? Actually, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm just gonna view the name of the deleted. So even if you like delete it, I'll be able to see it. Like, alright, let's see. Peeps is basically people, man. Alright, yeah, I can just refer to my HTML, right? And I can create an HTML inside this my site folder, I guess. So let's just call it base.html for now, right? And then let's refer to this file inside our return page. So what we are going to do is we're going to write our my site, and then we can just refer to this base.html if I'm not wrong. All right, looks good. I think we did it, right? All right, and so now it should be working. In urls.py file, we have our views.index, and inside this views.index, we use this render functionality. Then we created this method which has this request, and then we basically rendered our request and the base HTML. Inside our base HTML, we'll just write something. This is let's just try this is working, and let's see if it's actually working. So let's run our server again, and hopefully it should work, right? The only way to know is to run. Yeah, true. Can we expect a video on burp? I don't know, man. Like, I've already done like a hacking thing, so I don't know. This is working. Yes. I don't know why I'm so happy. Like, at least we created something, right? So we know how to use the render method. I can't believe I remember like so much stuff about Django, but soon I'm going to be running out of like things. So alright, so this is working, right? So now what we want to do is let's work on the part where we add Bootstrap to it, I guess, and let's start on the navigation bar and do those kind of things. So let's first let's close this one because this is totally useless. This is let's use this one, I guess. Yeah. So let's see how do we add Bootstrap to our web page, right? So introduction, we can just copy this starter template, I guess, right? So we can just copy this part and paste it inside our base.html, I guess, for starters, and this will automatically import add Bootstrap. So we have so I don't know if I should explain this. Basically, this is the JavaScript part that's being imported of Bootstrap. This is the CSS part of Bootstrap. This is not our stuff. Like, this is all required by Bootstrap. We don't need to worry about this extra stuff. We only need to worry about this title and stuff, right? So our title, let's just call it currently like build with Python, I guess, the title. Build with Python. And in H1, let's just write first title and see if this works. So let's go back, press enter. Alright, first title. So our Bootstrap has been added, looking pretty good. Now we need to add a simple navigation bar, right? So we are gonna go again to our Bootstrap. So it's going actually pretty fast. It's going faster than I expected, right? So I'm don't worry guys, I'm gonna be fixing the Streamlabs things because it is removing like normal text, which is very weird. Hair OP. Thank you. I just got it recently cut. I used to have like ponytail long hair, but I recently got it cut, and because I was coming home and I was like, damn, I need to like cut my hair, otherwise my mom will be like, what is this hair? Shaquille, hey man. Alright, so now let's look at some documentation and see what kind of a navigation bar we can add. I think it's in components or something. Let's go to our components, and over here let's see navigation bar, and alright, navigation bar, some components. So we have a branding, and it actually has like a code, so you can just copy and paste this thing, right? Which is pretty cool, right? You don't have to like worry about like thinking, oh, I have to add this, I have to add that. We can just copy paste this. I don't know why every time I copy paste something I feel a little bit evil that I'm copy pasting it, but it's alright. Whatevs, no worries. Alright, so let's make sure that we are doing it inside our body. Yeah, we are, so it should be good. Where is the head closing? The head is closing over here, so let's make sure the indentations and everything is correct. So our body tag is here, and let's add a navigation bar over here. Let's make sure everything is formatted properly. Alright, so I know this is looking a lot, but we basically just copied and pasted the code from Bootstrap website. It's not that complicated. So let's go over here and start seeing from the top what is happening. So we have our navigation. Actually, let's just see how our website looks, right? So that we can go ahead and start changing stuff in our navigation bar and the things that we need. And actually we forgot to like actually plan the website, like what we are going to actually do, right? Like that's the most basic thing. So actually let's create a new file, and we are going to add let's call it planning.md. maybe. I think we can create a .md file over here, right? And let's just reduce it. So build with Python right? Actually, we don't need to write it. Let's just first write what are the things that we are gonna need inside our website, right? How do you pronounce your name? Kickstray? Kickstray? This is literally the third account that I'm using to view this stream because of Streamlabs. Yeah, I'm sorry about that, man. How much of Django should I know to apply for a job? You should at least have a complete website with login, logout, submit, like sign up, like learn a little bit of like database stuff. Only then you can apply for a job. You should have at least a couple of projects to show people, right? So in planning, let's start with a simple like homepage. What do we want in our homepage, right? So the first thing that we want is a navbar, navigation bar. And what should our navigation bar have, right? Our navigation bar should have some kind of like an icon, maybe like a home icon of build with Python. Build with Python. I'm just gonna call it. Actually, let's make it for build with Python. The main homepage, the navigation bar, it should have like a button of course, maybe, right? And it should have obviously a login, sign up, right? And let's make sure the spellings are correct. We should have a course, login, and maybe like we can also add like a blog, but not at the starting. We just want the website. Let's just write extra over here. What else? The course, login, sign up. What else can we have? Courses. Let's make it courses, right? So when you click on it, it takes you basically to all the courses that are there. And when you click on this icon of build with Python, basically it takes you to the like homepage, I guess. What else can we add, guys? Over here, what else can we add in our navigation bar? What else do you guys think that should be there? Let's see, Ludwig, great video, bro. Thanks. Thank you so much, man. Is the Ludwig inspired from like a Twitch streamer? I'm from California. I work from California. Surya. All right. Kickster is not my name, just a nickname too. Oh, are you the coding desires, I guess? Yogesh, what are the milestones to become a developer? It's a very like complicated question. Like basically you create projects, and the more projects you have, the more and the project should be in the field that you're actually interested in. Can I boot Linux from SD card? Yeah, it's a very weird question, man. I'm just gonna go past that question. All right, so I guess we have a basic at least of the things that we need: login, sign up, and blog. And in our home page, we can also add a list of current courses, I guess, that are there inside the home page. And this, I think I'm going to be making some of the courses like paid and stuff. So we also need to add like a way to like at the top in the home page, we can add like a section for just introduction to the website, right? Section for the introduction of the website, what we do and what stuff is. And we also need like a bottom bar. I don't know what it's called, like at the bottom, like where we write like copyright stuff. So bottom bar should be there also, right? And and this login, what we are going to do inside the login is we are going to create a pop-up, which is also known as a modal, I think, in web development. So we'll also be creating that modal, and this sign up is also going to be a model kind of a thing. So this is also going to be a pop-up. And sign up, for sign up we'll just require like a email and a simple password, I guess. Email plus password for signing up, and name also, right? Name is pretty important. Should I add also the country? I guess I can also add the country over here. That would be interesting. Country, the blog, the icon, the courses. What else can be there? Let me remember. Alright, I guess for right now this is good enough. If I remember something, I'll just add it and we'll do it in the next episode. So yeah, these are the things. And then the bottom bar basically has like social links, right? And let me just add it over here, social links, and it has privacy policy, and it also has let's see, uh, copy or copyright thing, right? Yeah, that's pretty much it in the bottom bar, right? So, and in the courses section, right, in the current courses section, so this is basically the front page, right? And if we go inside this courses option, the home page, and then we can just over here we can create courses. What's gonna be inside our courses? Actually, let's do it tomorrow. First, we'll just focus on like simple our navigation bar, this area. Hopefully, we'll be able to do something over here. So let's just focus on the navigation bar. If we can do the navigation bar today, I'll be really happy. So let's get started with that. Let's just need some kind of let's just read a little bit of chat. Are you building your own website? Yes, I am. Log out. I guess, yeah, sign up, login plus log out makes sense. Search bar should be in the nav bar. Yeah, man, but like only when there are enough courses. But I don't know, like first I'll have to create those courses, right? Maybe need roles. I don't know. Roles we'll see, but I don't know what roles for. Need Flash tutorials, bro? I think Django is better. On which topic you're making the website? So I'm making the build with Python website, the current channel you're watching stuff on. Hello, I came late, I missed the whole stream. Don't worry, this stream is recorded, so you can always go back and watch all the things that we are doing. Don't worry about it. Alright, so bottom bar, social links, privacy policy, copyright. So this looks good. And let's just focus on this navigation bar. Let's not get too distracted because we have a lot of stuff to add over here, right? So yeah, let's just focus on the navigation bar. So let's go back to our base.html. We have our title build with Python, and then we have this big navigation bar which we just like cruelly copied and pasted from Bootstrap's website, right? And let's just focus on what's happening over here, and let's just refresh it, and you can see that we have our navigation bar over here. So we have a navbar, home, link, drop down disabled, and search. We don't so first thing I want to do is that I don't like when this navbar is just on the left hand side. I want it to be a little bit in the middle, right? So what we can do is we can add a division tag, I think, and we can add a class of container. I think it was container. Let's just check for once in layouts, and let's close all of this extra stuff. And in layer, yeah, it's container. So basically what it does is basically it reduces. I'll just do it and show it to you guys. So we are going to create a division tag, and we're going to close this down, close this baby down, and then where this navigation tag is ending, I'm gonna like format everything properly. And what you're gonna see hopefully is that this navigation bar and the search, both of them come in a little bit of a middle area. Yeah, they come in the middle, but you can see that this grayish background actually has also disappeared. I don't want that grayish thing to disappear. So actually I think this division tag should be inside a navigation bar, right? So that we retain that grayish bar that we have. So we are gonna cut this and paste it over here, I guess. And let's check it out now and see how it looks. Alright, so this is looking a lot better, right? You can see instantly that like when you are web designing, I think it's very important that, why is your screen zoomed in? Is it? Oh, it's actually a little bit zoomed in. Let me actually just see what's happening, right? Let's just see what's happening. Is it actually that zoomed in? Oh yeah, it's actually zoomed in. Why didn't you guys tell me before? What the heck? Let me just fix it properly, quickly, so that you guys can see everything. Alright. Alright, is it better now? Can you guys see? Let's just wait for it. OBS Studio, yeah, OBS Studio is OP. That's what I'm using currently. I was using Streamlabs. It's just, I don't know why. I didn't like it much. Actually, let's just remove the bottom part. Why are we adding the bottom part also? Let's just remove the bottom part, right? Let's just, yeah, this is a little bit better. Or should we let it stay there? Man, I don't know how to do this, so it's a little bit weird. Right, I think this looks pretty good. Yeah. Although it's actually, yeah, actually whatever. Let's just show the bottom part. It doesn't really matter. Let's just show the bottom part. You can see what software I have and stuff. Not a lot. All right. Visual Studio Code. I don't know, man. I've used it. I just like PyCharm better. Coding brother, thank you so much for telling me that my screen is zoomed in. It's crazy. I didn't even realize it. I don't know how you guys watched it till now. Hopefully you guys didn't miss a lot of things. And can you guys see everything properly, like the screen and stuff? Or do I need to increase the size of our screen, the font size? I think it should be visible if you are watching in HD. How long it will go live? At least till we create the navigation bar. At least till then we'll be live, right? Make sure our navigation bar is working. All the other pages are working. Typing skills OP. Man, we have a lot of gamers in our chat. Alright, so let's get started. We are getting like distracted. So now you can see that our navigation bar is starting to look good, and we can just remove this nav bar and start to actually like build things, right? And so let's go to our where it is, nav bar, this area, this brand name, this nav bar dash brand, and instead of that we can just add build with Python. And over here in home we can just, do we need a home button? I don't think so we need a home button. So let's just write course over here, courses. And we also don't need a lot of other things. We don't need this drop down buttons, at least for right now. And we also don't need this disable thing, and we also don't need this actually search area. So let's also remove that. Alright, let's format everything properly and see how it looks now. Alright, so courses, we don't need this link thing, so let me also remove this. Let's go back to our structure. We have our courses, we have our login and sign up, and we have a blog. We can add a blog for right now, I guess. So let's actually add a blog. So I'm just gonna copy this. Actually, we don't need to copy this. I'm just gonna add like a blog thing over here. And alright, so now we need to add the sign up and the login buttons, I guess, over here. So we are actually going to be working with buttons a little bit, because I want to add them on the right hand side as a button, the login and the sign up. They're going to look pretty cool. So let's actually see how do we add anything inside a navigation bar on the right hand side in Bootstrap, right? So let's go back to our navigation bar and let's actually figure it out. So we have our what's the best way to, I'm sorry, like I don't know why Streamlabs is timing people out. I guess it's for long messages. I'll remove that long messages thing, so don't worry about it in the next stream. Sorry Ankush about that, but see if you can send like a short thing. But I think your message was reasonable, to be honest. Yeah. So yeah, Navbar dash brand build with Python. We just did that. For a full height and lightweight navigation bar, toggler, collapse plugin, form inline for any form controls. We are not using any forms. Navbar text for adding vertically aligned centered string. Okay. Have we used any nav text over here? Let's actually search for it. Nav text. So this basically aligns it in the center, right? That's what they mean by this. And collapse navbar. So this is basically when you like, I guess when you do this minimize thing, it will automatically create this kind of a button, right? So that is part of the response functionality of that. So this is a navbar that we have just added. So this is looking pretty good. And we can also actually make it a little bit bolder, I guess, which I like. So what we are gonna do is we are gonna add like this I guess H1 tag in our navigation bar. So it's gonna be a little bit of designing and stuff, learning all the things, and I'm also gonna be learning a lot. So it's kind of like we both are viewers and me are learning at the same time. All right, so inside our nav bar, where do we have to copy that? In a nav dash brand thing. Okay, so I'm just gonna paste this over here, I guess, and this should make it a little bit bolder. What else should we add? So we can also add an image. I'll be working, I don't know about the build with, I haven't yet created the image of build with Python. So if you guys know any good designers, tell me about it. All right, navigation bar, these are the buttons that are there on the left hand side. And how do we add it on the right hand side, bro? These are the forms. So when you add a form, it automatically goes on the right hand side, I guess. Right, let's just scroll up and see the example that they have given. So over here, disabled, and then they have just created a form. They haven't really like done anything to, I guess they have done this mylg-0 thing, but I don't think it matters much. Let's see if they have anything else. Otherwise, what we'll do is we'll go and just Google it. How to add buttons on right side of Navbar, Bootstrap. Let's figure this stuff out. All right, let's open this. Perfect, Stack Overflow. Let's also open up a couple of more links so that if the first one doesn't work, we can go and look at the other ones. Let's go. Let's see. My sister was a designer. Shall I tell her? Yeah, you can like refer. Like I have to get a build with Python like a brand icon kind of a thing, which I don't have right now. So it will be helpful. This is just not Bootstrap. This is just random stuff. So let's close that one out. And yeah, so in the first example, we use the .ml auto class to align items to the right, use the left margin and align. Okay, so we can use this, I guess. So all right, so we can use this, but we don't, in this example, we don't have anything on the left hand side, right? So I don't know if that will work, but let's give it a shot, I guess. So first we need to add buttons. So let's also see how buttons are created in Bootstrap. So I'll just open this baby up. And we have a lot of buttons. Let's just go with the primary button, I guess, and add this baby up. So we're gonna just create a button, I guess. We create another button, and let's just call the first button as login and the second button as sign up. And we are gonna add them inside this UL thing. So let me just, it's automatically MR auto. I guess you need to add ML auto. So we'll see what we need to do. So I'm just gonna copy this and maybe paste it over here. And I'm a little bit confused like how we are supposed to do it. Let me just cut this and paste this over here. Paste this one also here, and let's see how it looks, man. If it doesn't work, we'll just do something else. All right, so it's appearing like a lot on the left hand side, so I don't know about this. Let's just check it, this one. So I'll just keep remove. Oh, this is actually perfect. So this is what we wanted on the right hand side. Obviously they are pretty close by, but this is what we basically wanted, right? And this dark thing is looking okay, I guess, but not looking the best, but we'll leave it currently at that. So now we just need to give a little bit of margin, or what is called padding, between login and sign up, and it should look good. So let's go to our where should we go? Inside our li, I guess, element, and we can just give a style over here and give a padding of 2 pixels. I don't know how much it will change, but let's give it a shot. Let's see if it changes anything. Nah, it's not looking good. What we can do instead of padding is also like a margin dash right, I think, because we just need to give a margin on the right hand side. So let's press enter. Actually, this is looking pretty good. All right, guys. So we finally created the buttons for sign login and sign up, and it's looking pretty good. And let's see what other colors can we add in our navigation bar, or should I just leave it at gray? I don't know. Let me just drink some water. I'm pretty thirsty. All right. So let's, I think this login and sign up are buttons looking pretty decent. So let's get started on our courses and our blog page. So what happens when we click on this courses, and what happens when we click on this blog button? So currently nothing happens. This hashtag is added. The CSS is the worst. Yeah, man, CSS, so it's a little bit lagging. Maybe it's my internet connection, I don't know. Maybe because nobody is here, maybe I can just open up this door. My parents are not currently in the house, so anyways, I hope it's not lagging now. So let's work on this courses button and this blog button, right? So what we are going to do is we are going to go back to our views and go inside this base.html. So inside this, what we want is whenever this course is clicked, it should take us to a HTML page of courses. So we are going to go inside our my site and inside our templates, inside our my site, and we are going to create a courses page, and we are going to just write courses, and we are going to create this HTML file, and let's just write course list, and inside our body just write this is a course page, right? And inside our my site, we can also create a blog page. So we are also going to create that. Actually, let me just copy this and paste this again over here, and we'll just call it the blog page, and let's just call it blog, and this is a blog page. All right. So, and now we are going to go inside our urls.py file, and we are going to add our blog and our path for both of them. So let me just add both of them over here, and we are going to add, so whenever this courses button is clicked, we want this URL to go to this and then slash courses, basically automatically when this courses button is clicked. So let's add that. So I'm just gonna copy and paste this over here, slash courses, and then I'm gonna do the same thing for the blog. And then we haven't created the views for our courses and our blog, so let's create those views. So I'm just gonna copy this and paste this over here, copy this and paste it over here again too. Best of luck, Ankush, may the force be with you. We're just going to call this method as courses, and we are going to call this method as blog, and we're going to be basically doing the same thing. So these are all the get requests. We are not going to go into get and post requests right now. Just understand that these are all get requests if you already know what those means. So now we are going to, in courses, we are going to go to courses.html, and for our blog, we are going to go to our blog.html. And if we open up our courses, actually let's just make sure that we are going to these methods whenever this slash courses is there. So what will happen behind the scenes is whenever this courses button is clicked, it will go to this base.html over here, and over here what we are going to do is we are going to add something known as a basically href slash courses, basically we are going to add, and we'll go to our urls.py file and see where we should go whenever this slash courses is there. And we are going to go to our views.courses, not the brackets, and over here we are going to go to views.blog. Pretty easy. And yeah, so let's inside our base.html, now we can change this link to, will this work? If we just add courses over here, will this work? I don't know. Let's actually try it out and see if it works. And inside our blog, I think this is a better way to do it. The better way to do it is actually giving these a name. So what we can do is over here we can just give these a name. So I'm gonna give this a name of index, Actually, let's see first if it works or not. So inside our base, let's just leave this as courses and leave this as blog. And let's see whether our server is working or not. It has identified two issues. Your URL pattern has a root beginning with a slash. Remove the slash as it is unnecessary. Okay, it is unnecessary. I guess we can remove this. Alright, so we have to add it afterwards, not before, right? So we are going to add it afterwards. And yeah, let's reload it and see how it is. Alright, it's reloaded, and let's go over here and see if it's actually working or not. So when we click on courses, does it, oh, it's actually working. This is a course page. And when we go to our blog, it says this is a blog page. Which mic are you using? The voice is pretty much clear. This is my Logitech audio. I think usually I use my Samsung Go mic. So this is my Samsung Go mic, which I use for my videos. It is pretty cool, but I don't know, like I was doing the last live stream and people were saying the mic of the like my webcam is pretty good. So I thought, okay, let's just use my webcam mic. Alright, glad to see that people are making friends in the chat. Nice. So yeah, this is actually working, but I think a better way to do it is using something known as templating, if I am not wrong. What you can do is let's actually open up our where is it, the Django documentation, and let's write templates, and yeah, let's just check it out and see what's up with that. But I think a better way to do it is give the name to all of these. So I'm just gonna give a name to all of these paths, and I'm also give a name to this block. Name equals to block. Alright, so and now inside our page.html, what we are going to do is, instead of just hard coding, so currently we are hard coding it, which is not very good in most of the situations. What we wanted to do is kind of like make it dynamic, right? So instead of using this href, what we can do is write this percentage, and this is known as ginger templating, if I'm not wrong. And you basically write URL, and actually let me just check because I'm not sure about the exact command. So this is basically the ginger templating which I was talking about. And let's see if we have any URLs over here. Not really, which is, oh yeah, this is it, right? So basically you give the URL. So let me just copy this, and this is a difference. So this is not bracket and the percentage sign. These are double brackets, so this is a little bit different, but they both are a part of ginger templating. So let me just copy and paste this over here, and it's actually giving us an error that percentage is to be expected. So maybe this won't work. href, yeah, it's looking like this is what we are supposed to do. No, or maybe we are actually supposed to use the percentage sign. I'm not really sure now, but the documentation is saying that we are supposed to use that. But if I remember correctly, we are supposed to use only this URL ID expected. Actually, let's just go to Stack Overflow, man. Like, what the hell. Alright, so what I'm gonna write is static files URL connecting. Just write some broken words over here and hope it works. Django. Alright. Not static files, like HTML files. URL connecting Django. Let's just check this one out. Alright, let's see if we have something else. Oh, we have like a proper, yeah, but we don't. Hey, yeah, this is it. This is what I was trying to do. Perfect. So this is basically the name of whatever in views.py file, in our urls.py file, whatever name we have provided over here. that name we have to basically give over here too. So to go to courses, we just write courses, and that is the name we have given inside our urls.py file. And over here we can also do the basically the same thing. So let me just copy this and paste it here too, and instead of courses we can just write blog. And what this will do is whenever you click on this courses button, it will go automatically to urls.py file because the name equals to courses is there. So it will automatically go over here, and then it will go to this URL of courses. So build with Python /courses, and it will go and check what this views.courses says. So it will go to this views.py file, and it will go to this method of courses, and it will basically render our courses.html page that is over here. So hopefully this should work. So let's actually check it out and press enter and see if it actually works. Alright, so when we click on courses, alright, so this is also working. So this is perfect. This is a much better way of doing it than hard coding it. Oh, Khandar, damn it, I didn't actually realize that you have already posted it, and I was just searching for it everywhere. Thank you so much. No, I'll be using, I think I'll mostly be using function-based views. We can also use class-based views, but I think I have, like function-based views are pretty easy. You just write like whether it's a post method, get method, and you figure stuff out. So mostly I'll be using the function method of creating in views. So yeah, we have our courses when we click on courses, but as you can see, when we go to courses, our navigation bar disappears, which is actually very sad. So whenever we click on blog, our navigation bar disappears. So we want this navigation bar to be present in each of the pages. So let's actually fix that. So one way of doing it, that we can just copy this navigation bar in all of the HTMLs, but that won't be very productive. Otherwise, why are we even using a framework? The whole idea of framework is to like reduce the work. So this is base.html, right? So this web page can be present everywhere. So this is actually, we won't be using this as a home page, right? Otherwise we'll have to add Bootstrap in all the web pages. So let's actually remove this h1 title from over here, and what we are going to do is we are going to create another HTML file, and we are going to create that as and let's call this as index, because home page files are always called as index files. And we are going to remove actually so this is our basically our base.html. This file we want it to be present everywhere. So let's see how we can use this base.html in all the other files. So what we are going to search for is let's see, let's close all of this stuff, and if anybody has a suggestion of, I think it's also using Jinja templating if I'm not wrong, but let's see, using base HTML in Django. Let's see. Oh, it's known as template extending, huh? Interesting. Alright, so we have our base.html and we have our post_list.html. So this is our base.html, right? And load static, we don't need this right now. And then base HTML. So this is our base HTML, right? And yeah, so whatever content we want to replace, whatever content we want to add, we basically add this block content. So let me just copy this, and what we are going to do is we are just going to paste this over here. So any kind of extra, for example, we want to add something over here. For example, index.html is basically going to be copy and pasted inside this block content and end block. So all of the content of index.html is going to be here, right? So we won't have to write it again and again. We just have to write this index.html code over here, and let's actually try it out, right? So block content over here and block over here, and then we need to add something inside our index.html too. So we can just remove all of this extra stuff, and we can just use, so if we go to our block content, let's see, load static. Let's see if anybody has an idea in the chat. But class-based views reduce the time of development. Just, I don't know, man. I guess I'll check out the class-based views, I guess, later. But I mean, I've used both of them. They are not that different, I guess. But I didn't feel any kind of like unnecessary stuff inside the method one too. Alright, so let's see, let's figure this stuff out, right? Let's see. So we have, this is also base.html. Why do we have so many where's the post underscore list.html? Yeah, this is it. Alright, so we basically add this block content and end block inside our post underscore list.html2, I guess, and we add this extends. Yeah, this is what I was searching for. So let's just copy this extends inside our index.html and say extends base.html, and it's not able to find it. So I guess we'll have to write my site slash base.html, and over here we can just write the same thing that we have block content. We can just do this again, I guess, right? Block content, yeah, and block, and then we can just write stuff over here. This is the home page, and this should, I think, work. So let's see if it works or not. So let's go back to our home page, press enter. So this is actually not working. All right, perfect. So let's go to our, let's see what's wrong. If anybody knows what's wrong in the chat, please tell me. But we'll figure it out, I guess. So we have extended our base.html. So this is our base.html, and then we want to add whatever is over here. Let's actually write in this in the h1 tag so that we notice it if it's there. And yeah, this is what they are doing, right? Extends, then block content, and then end block. Save it properly. Do we need to like reload this or something? Alright. No, it's actually not working. Block content and block. Let's actually check out some other website, because I think yeah, let's check out some other website, because I think this is a little bit weird what they are saying. Block content and block, and then inside our base.html they have block content and block is the same thing. Yeah, I don't know what's happening. Yeah, let's look at ultimatedjango.com. Shout out to them if they have the correct solution. So we create a base.html, which we have already created, and then we add the block name over here and end block, right? These are, they are not extending it anywhere, right? I'm pretty sure it needs to be extended. I don't know about this one too. Maybe I'm just not getting it. Let's just write template extending, I guess. Oh, this is the official Django, I guess, tutorial. So we can check that out. Man, it's getting super hot. I think I'll need to switch on the AC soon, even though it's not like the audio might be not that good, but it's getting super hot. So soon I'll need to like switch on the AC. All right, so this is like the official one. So this time it shouldn't be a problem. Okay, I should have looked at the official one anyway. So we are extending the base.html file, and then basically we add the block and the end block. So this is what we were doing, man. And what have variables? So these are variables. Are we not extending the base.html properly? No, we are doing it correctly, I guess. This is weird. What to do? Block title, section.title. These are just variables. This is Jinja 2 templating. We extend it. We had a block. This should be it. This should be working. Let's actually try and restart our server. Maybe sometimes it just like doesn't work on Django when you don't restart a server. If it works after restarting, I'll be really pissed off. But so I'm kind of hoping it doesn't work. And I'm hoping I'm doing something wrong. Yeah, I am doing something wrong. I don't know, I'm still a little bit disappointed. Because I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Let's see. I guess I can just figure this stuff out when like off stream, because this is taking too much time. And how much time have we been streaming for? Let me just check how much time we have been streaming for. Oh, we have been streaming for about 1.5 hours, right? Should we spend some more time on this chat, or should we just skip past it? And you know what? I'm gonna switch on the AC because it's getting super hot. Yeah. At least now I'll be able to concentrate, right? I know like there will be some music in the background, like not music, the AC noise, but hopefully I'll be able to concentrate a little bit better because I'm just sweating a lot. Alright. So what we'll do is, let me just check my previous code and hopefully I can figure this stuff out like watching my previous code. So, alright. So let me just go to my previous code. Templates. So I'm basically checking my unopinion code, guys. And actually, why not? I'll show you guys the code anyways. What's the point? So we are gonna go inside our YouTube, I guess, and we are gonna look at templates, maybe YouTube, and this is our base.html, right? So let's look at the code that I wrote 2 years ago, and hopefully I can figure stuff out from it. Man, I wrote a lot of stuff, huh? Alright, so this is our base.html, and whenever I wanted to add something, right? So this is block content and end block, which I did. Obviously over here too, block content and end block, and then let's look at stuff that's being extended using our base.html. So we can simply look at, I guess, about.html, right? So it says extend base.html, which we have already done, and then block content and end block, which is pretty much what we are doing. So it's not wrong what we are doing, right? End block content and end block. Huh, interesting. I guess I haven't added this load static files thing, because at the end of the day HTML is a static file. So we are gonna probably be yeah, I guess that's the problem I've been having. So let's add in the about one, let's add this load static files, and that should work. I'm pretty sure that will work. So inside our over here we are gonna write load static files, or should it be something else? Should be just static, load static. Yeah, load static. And now let's try it out. Maybe it will work this time. No. So let's look at the tutorial that these guys had, right? This is the one that we were watching. So in this, do they have load static files also? No, they don't. But in base.html they have load static. So let me add this in base.html also, I guess. Now let's see if it works. Man, this is gonna take like 1.5 hours. So might as well, I'll probably skip this. And what we are gonna do right now is just create probably a modal for this login and sign up button and the stream for right now, because I don't know what to do. I'll figure out off the stream so that I don't take a lot of time. Alright, so let's check out how to create a modal in this video itself. So we are gonna go to our navigation bar. Now let's close all this extra stuff, and we are gonna go to our modals, and we are gonna go to our example, and we can just copy and paste this, I guess, inside our base.html whenever the login button is clicked. So let's go to our base.html, and this is going to be there in every page, so we don't have to worry too much. Alright, so this is the login button, and what we want it to happen is, alright, so we'll actually have to use some JavaScript with this, right? So when you click on this button, this should open up. Alright, so this is the trigger thing. So we are just gonna copy this trigger from here, and we're also gonna copy this, paste this here, and yeah, it's looking pretty good. And then we are just gonna copy and paste this modal basically. So let me just copy this with the comments and stuff, and where should we paste this? Let's just paste this inside over here, I guess, and let's see if it works. So let's open up our build with Python and press on the login button, and yeah, it's actually opening. So this is pretty good. So we are going to be creating our login button basically inside, or login options like of the form, the username and the password we'll be entering over here. So this is pretty good, and we need to do the same thing for our sign up button. So, and how is this opening? So let's figure that out. So this is the important one, this data target hashtag example modal, right? Whenever this button is clicked, then go to this ID and open this baby up, right? So we can do the same thing. Actually, let's just change the name of this to login modal. Bro, I'm creating the website for build with Python. So yeah, I thought it will be a pretty good idea to create a website and do some live streams at the same time. And this should open up our login modal. And we're also going to copy the same thing for our sign up, and we'll add a sign up form over there. So let's scroll down a little bit. Where is our sign up button? Our sign up button is over here, and we have to add it inside our button. So let's paste that, and then we are going to go to our the modal thing that we copied. So we're going to copy all of this stuff again, and we are going to paste this for our button too. So we are going to press enter, paste this for here too, and this time we are going to call it sign up modal, and we are going to copy this from here to here. Alright, so now let's actually change some of the specifics that are there inside our modals. So for example, right now when we click on this login button, it gives us this modal, but there's like nothing over here. Maybe we'll add a login and a close over here is fine, a username. Forms we'll add, I guess, in the second episode, but let's at least change the title and the button names, right? Get the simple things done today. Don't take a lot of pressure today, just do the simple things. We can just add login over here, and in the second one, this is the title, and this is the close button, which we are not gonna touch because we don't need to touch that. And what is the thing? Save changes. Instead of save changes, what we want is submit button. Alright, so this is looking good, and we are going to do the same thing for our sign up button. Modal title, we're going to write a sign up over here, and we're also going to write maybe a register button over here. Right, so this should be working now. Let's just press enter, and when we click on login, so it's going to give us a login option, and when we click on sign up, it's going to give us the registration option. So guys, my throat is gone today. Thank you so much for joining. We created this navigation bar today. We had some problems in the using the extending template stuff, but I'll figure it out off the stream because I don't want to waste your time today. So anyways, thank you so much for joining, everyone. It's just pretty interesting, and it's gonna be a lot of episodes, I guess, to figure all this stuff out. So we'll have to do a couple of very big streams. Otherwise, it's just gonna take like a month to complete this series. So from the next time, I think we'll be doing like a 6-hour stream or something, and we'll have to work on this. So guys, thank you so much for joining. Peace out. I'll see you in the second episode of Django. And actually, a new video is dropping tomorrow on how Python helps me sleep. So be on the lookout for that. And yeah, this is pretty much it.